Welcome back. Today, we're diving into a fascinating explainer covering a piece of source material titled Two Boys, Two Dreams, One Lesson. If you're the kind of person who loves clear takeaways, solid structure, and really powerful narratives, you are absolutely going to love how we break this down today. We're looking at a story that proves, without a doubt, that success literally never follows a single straight path. It's a masterclass in perseverance, and we've distilled the entire text into a sequence of clear, actionable takeaways to help you absorb the core message perfectly. So let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. Right out of the gate, the author hits us with the central premise of the entire journey. Delayed is not denied. It's such a simple phrase, right? But man, as we're about to see through the lives of our two main subjects, it carries incredible weight. People so often mistake a delay for a complete dead-end roadblock. But this text makes a really compelling case that sometimes a holding pattern is actually just a crucial preparation phase. To really grasp this lesson, we first have to understand the starting line. The author sets a gritty, super high-stakes scene for our two subjects, Percy and Matt. They grew up on the exact same tough streets. The text describes an environment where sirens were literally the soundtrack of life, where young boys learned way too early that life just isn't fair. Neither boy had a father at home, and the environmental pressure here is absolutely intense. There's this massive magnetic pull to conform to street hustles, joining gangs, selling drugs, just to survive and get a little respect. But the one thing that grounds both of these boys is their mothers. Both moms are working multiple jobs to the point of pure exhaustion, and because of that, both boys share a singular burning dream: make enough money so their mothers can finally rest.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how they take that shared motivation and channel it into completely different directions as they grow up. Over on the left, we've got Percy. Percy looks at the arrests and the funerals in his neighborhood and chooses extreme practicality. His mom works behind a bakery counter in the mornings, so he just steps right in to help her out. He washes dishes, mixes batter, decorates cupcakes. He's quietly learning a solid trade just to avoid the streets. But then on the right, we have Matt. Matt's mom, a school teacher, saves up for months to send him to his summer tech camp 2 hours away. And it's out there, away from all the sirens, that Matt discovers this fiery passion for animation and video editing. So Percy chose the practical hustle, while Matt discovered a creative passion. Let's look at how this builds across a timeline. The text actually tracks their journey across several critical checkpoints. In year 1, they unexpectedly bump into each other at a community college. Percy is studying baking, which makes perfect sense for him, and Matt is studying animation. They are both so hopeful, standing right at the starting line of adulthood. But as we move along this timeline, we're going to see how wildly their trajectories diverge before they eventually cross paths again. Section 1. The climax of contrast. 4 years later. The narrative builds some real suspense here as it moves us into a packed, lively birthday party where these two old friends suddenly reunite. But wow, the circumstances they find themselves in couldn't be more different. For Percy, things are going incredibly well. The author highlights that Percy has officially become a master baker. In fact, he's the one who created the elaborate strawberry masterpiece cake for this very party. He is thriving. He's earning a highly impressive salary of $65,000 a year, which was life-changing money for where he came from. He has his own car, his own apartment. Percy's slow, practical path has paid off beautifully. He is visibly building a very secure future. But then the text shifts focus to Matt, and the pacing of the story just drops. When Percy asks Matt what he's been up to, the silence basically says everything. Matt is in what the author calls his darkest season. The animation market is totally flooded. No one is hiring. Despite his degree and all his passion, he is facing an endless wall of rejection emails. He's still living at home, sleeping in his childhood bedroom, feeling utterly defeated. And as he drives home from that party, embarrassed by his friend's success, this crushing thought echoes in his head. Maybe I failed. He is literally ready to give up entirely. However, the source material pivots exactly when Matt is at his absolute lowest. Weeks pass. Matt completely stops going out. He stops trying. But then, a friend named Amir practically forces him out of the house, dragging him to a massive birthday party for an R&B singer. Matt is super reluctant to be there. But while he's hanging out surrounded by celebrities and music, he just pulls out his camera and starts filming the event for fun. No pressure, no job application on the line, just playing around with the skills he loved. The next day, feeling a tiny spark of his old passion, he edits the footage together, adds some music and transitions, and sends it to Amir as a thank you gift for getting him out of the house. And this brilliantly illustrates the turning point of the entire narrative. Because a week later, Amir calls Matt, and his voice is shaking. That R&B singer, he saw that casually edited video, and he loved it so much that he offered Matt $10,000 to produce his next official music video. 10 grand, all from a free edit done just for fun. For the first time in years, Hope walks right back into Matt's life through a door he wasn't even trying to open. Section 2, 15 years later, the reunion. Fast forward 15 years. Percy is delivering a custom-designed cake to this massive luxury estate by a lake. The driveway is lined with luxury cars, the place is filled with actors and directors. When he asks a staff member for the host of the party, Matt turns around. Side by side, we finally see the culmination of their journeys. Matt owns the entire estate and has built a massive media empire producing award-winning series. Percy, on the other hand, didn't become a millionaire, but he built a highly stable, honorable life, bought a beautiful home, and mastered his craft. The text continuously juxtaposes these outcomes to show us something vital. Their careers look wildly different, but if you look at the core of it, both men achieved their ultimate original goal. They both got their families out of the neighborhood, and they both provided safety and rest for the mothers who sacrificed so much for them. Section 3. The ultimate lesson: trusting the process. Now, why did the author tell us this specific story? Well, they used this narrative to anchor specific spiritual principles about setbacks, shifting from a biographical story into a much larger lesson about trusting the process of your life, even when the mechanics of it make zero sense to you in the moment. To reinforce this, the author impartially frames the story around this scripture from Proverbs. The text uses this passage to illustrate a specific worldview, that when we rely only on what we can literally see in front of us, like Matt seeing only those rejection emails, we become deeply discouraged. But from the author's perspective, this scripture teaches that closed doors might actually be intentional preparation for unseen opportunities. Matt thought a traditional job application was the only way his dream could happen, but trusting the process during a season of massive disappointment allowed him to walk through a door no application could ever open.
So the crucial point is summarized perfectly in these 4 bullet points derived straight from the text's conclusion. Number 1, don't judge your future by your current circumstances. That flooded animation market was absolutely not the end of Matt's story. Number 2, keep developing your gifts. Even when he was depressed, Matt had the skills ready the second he picked up that camera at the party. Number 3, keep showing up. If he hadn't let a mirror drag him to that event, the connection would have never been made. And number 4, keep trusting. Life-changing opportunities very often arrive through the most unexpected, unplannable doors.
To make this incredibly practical for you, we've synthesized the think tank questions at the end of the source document into 3 actionable steps for your own self-reflection right now. Step 1, reflect on your hidden gifts. What talents do you have that haven't produced results yet, but that you genuinely enjoy doing? Step 2, trust the unknown season. Are you in a holding pattern right now? Can you reframe that delay as preparation rather than denial? And step 3, embrace unexpected blessings. Are you so hyper-focused on one specific door opening that you're entirely missing the side door standing wide open right next to you? I want to end today's explainer by breaking the 4th wall and asking you this final, provocative thought directly from the source material. What dream are you tempted to give up on that may simply need more time? Think about Matt in his childhood bedroom, convinced he was a total failure, entirely unaware that a $10,000 music video gig was just weeks away. If this explainer sparked something in you, take 5 minutes today to just sit with that question. Thank you so much for joining me. Keep learning, keep showing up, and I will see you in the next explainer.